Hello, Cleveland, and everyone from everywhere else. Welcome to your 10-minute TA for Saturday, March 22nd. While you're here, give me a like, a subscribe, or a follow. And as a thank you, here's a picture of a really cute baby red panda. All right, thanks. So without further ado, let's dive right into the charts. All right, so what we got going on since yesterday? Well, we fell back under 85. When was I making that video? Let's see. What's today? The 22nd. Yesterday was the 21st. I'll do it here. 21st at 11. We were down here. We actually came up a little bit from yesterday. We were under 84 still. We're now over 84. Even kind of seeing. Oops. Let's move you out a little bit. All right. Yeah. Almost kind of a weird diamond pattern here, like a little diamond. Now diamonds usually will break out to where they where they came in from. In this case, it came in from the top here, so it will likely break back up to the top. We're also still seeing price action over the 200 here on the 90-minute chart, where you've moved, bounced off that 618. It's a common reversal area. We are over the 200 and we're moving up a little bit. We are under the 50, but we're over the 21. The Stokes here are pointing to the downside, which means we could see some downwards movement coming up. Hopefully just staying within the Bollinger Bands here that you'll notice are turning blue, which means there is a squeeze happening. Now, what happens after a squeeze? Well, a breakout. You'll notice we now have a squeeze not just on the 90-minute, but also here on the 6-hour chart. So double the squeeze going on. Which way will it break out? Well, as we know, our patterns are indicating if we see an upwards movement, this bull flag from the 90-minute chart could play up to 88. This diamond pattern would play up to back where it was here around 86, which would be a good start to getting up to 88, and it would put us over the resistance of this bull flag, which is currently being hit, being kind of like run into, being tested as resistance. So yeah, if this little bull flag can take off, great. Let's see 88. Be a higher high, the higher high that we want to see. We need to see that higher high happen in order to, continue this uptrend. However, we are still seeing this bear flag here on the 6-hour chart. And if we were to move the breakout point to where price action is currently at, we would see a drop down to about $68,500. We are still under the 200 here on the 6-hour. Bearish. Let's move this over a bit. There we go. And you'll notice that we did bounce off the 618 Fibonacci here as well. So decision time for Bitcoin. We got the squeezes, we got patterns pointing up, we got patterns pointing down. It's decision time for BTC. Is it going to continue? Looking at the daily now, is it going to continue this downtrend? Or will we see it come up to 88, break this trend line, and then hopefully either break 90 on that upswing or, come down and put in a higher low? Hopefully no lower than 85, but even 82 would hold or would be fine as a higher low once we breach that 88 level and put in a higher high. Of course, a higher low here would also be good. If we could stay over 82, that'd be great. But anything over that 77 area would be putting in a higher low, which would tell us, hey, this may be reversing. This downward wedge may be reversing into an upward wedge. If it does turn into an upward wedge, that gives this bull flag on the daily another shot. Its measured move, as we've discussed before, is 116. But there's a lot of resistance along that way up, including our all-time high. And if we were to stop at all-time high again, well, then we'd have this big old double top pattern going on. And yeah, we'd have to watch out for that. But that's in the future. Let's wait and see what happens now, whether we get that low or higher low or higher high to show us that the trend is reversing. Let's take a quick peek, see at the indicators. We already talked about the 90-minute indicator and how it's pointing to the downside, and how we would like for it to either flip around, and it may. I mean, the RSI is slightly over its signal line, and it's kind of been hovering over its signal line, which is a good signal of upwards momentum. And it's over the 50. Well, it's under right now, but let's see if it can get back over the 50. If this Stokes can come all the way down to oversold or just find a bottom. It looks like their momentum is slowing down a bit, so it could curl up from here. Let's take a quick peek at the 22-minute chart. The 22-minute chart is deep in oversold territory here on the Stokes, and just barely in bearish territory here on the RSI. On price action, we are under the 200 bearish, but we're also seeing a squeeze here as well. Now, if the RSI can reverse, push up, show some higher highs, that could happen if the Stokes reverse here, and they may because they're in oversold territory, while the price action does not put in higher highs. That could actually be considered a bullish div with lower lows here on RSI, but flat lows here on price. That could be considered a bullish div, but I'm also seeing a possible head and shoulders, right shoulder, head, and then could possibly come in for another right shoulder if it can't get over 84.4. So we need it to get over 84.4 in the next few hours to invalidate that little head and shoulders, to kind of give us some, hey, maybe we'll go to the upside out of this when we break out of this squeeze, versus maybe we'll go to the downside. Although that's a very small head and shoulders. But if we start moving to the downside out of this squeeze, then yeah, it may just end up taking us down to that 82 or, lower. But as long as we put in that higher low, like I was talking about on the daily, then we're still good. But it is decision time. All these squeezes, man. Like, look at this. Squeeze on the 5-minute chart now. There's literally a squeeze on every chart except for the daily. Let's look at the 1 minute real quick. 5 minute is under its 200, but it's trying to get back up. We're seeing a bullish div here, higher lows, lower lows, bullish div. We're seeing the Stokes in bullish territory, and they look like they've lost some of that downwards momentum and could be curling back up. RSI still over its signal line. Let's see if the 5 minute can get back over its 200, kind of push things upwards. Where's the 1? The 1's well under its 200, but it's at its 21. Showing signs to the downside on the Stokes, but again, also kind of turning. Oh my gosh, and look at this. It's starting to squeeze here on the 1 minute too. We've literally got a squeeze on every single chart except for the daily. So a breakout's coming, man. Today or tomorrow, but a breakout is coming. I'm hoping it's to the upside, but hey, could be to the downside with this bear flag still there. Let's jump back to the 90-minute. So yeah, diamond pattern. 90 minutes says we might go to the upside. As long as we're staying over that 200, we've got a chance. Need us to break out to the upside then. If it can, well then great. On the 6 hour, we're looking at downside. Daily, it could go either way. But yeah, decision time. Just like my caption said or subtitle said there, it's decision time for BTC. And for you as well. Are you a bull or are you a bear? Do you think that this bull run is over? Do you think this bull run is not over? Let me know in the comments. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. You guys that made it this far are awesome. You, sir, you are awesome. Sirs and zers, as a great trader says. Much love. See you later.